Hello, welcome to a Meet Me at the Movies open dialogue special interview as we explore a film that some would call a Christmas film, some would call an action film, and some would even call it a family drama. And honestly, Silent Night is just that. At its core, it's a film that has a heart of drama fueled by family tragedy. And there's action, but the action doesn't really kick in until about an hour into this film. And the lead talent, Joel Kinnaman, I'm really excited to be able to have him with us right here on Open Dialogue to talk about this new Lionsgate film, Silent Night. Joel, hi, this is Noel Manning from Meet Me at the Movies Open Dialogue. Hope you're doing well.
Noel and Joel, we should go on the road.
Oh, hey, count me in.
Yeah, two-man show. Yeah, it's going to be great.
If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Different types who wear...
Especially if you bring some of the accoutrements you had in Silent Night. I would definitely go on the road with you for sure.
At least you'd be safe, because it's mostly weapons.
Yes, that's exactly right. And a lot of great training. I gotta love this. Love the training montage. That was some good stuff, man.
Oh yeah, no, I'd whip you into shape real quick.
Well, man, I got to tell you, the first hour of Silent Night is absolutely brilliant. It shows us this loving father who's in mourning, and he transitions into something quite different than before he was with that family loss. Talk to me, if you would, about how this character and the story spoke to you, maybe when you first saw it and maybe after it was over.
Yeah, I mean, this was a very big challenge for me. It was an incredibly intense shoot and a very intense role, the most intense of my career. First off, the guy goes through an absolute tragedy. The film is about a man who loses his son to a stray bullet of a gang shootout, and just loses his connection with love, basically, and cannot reconnect to life, can't reconnect to his wife, and just becomes obsessed with the notion of making the people that took the light of his life away pay for it. And it's a descent into revenge, and it's a very intense, high-paced action film, but on a character level, it's a tragedy about a man that loses his humanity.
Yeah, this film says so much through the character expressions, the actions, the interactions, and it does it without dialogue. And you talked about this being such an intense shoot for you. Talk about the challenges that most people may not realize that you have to go through to do something without dialogue.
Yeah, it's I had some friends that were they were saying before this film, they were like, oh, so we can hang out now, you don't have to go home and learn your lines every night. But I'm like, oh, this is going to be hard work, believe me. And it was, in the art of the craft of acting, the dialogue can actually, it helps you access emotions. It helps you get into it, and also you can sort of hide behind what. You can say things in a certain way, and it can make you seem like you're emotionally engaged. But here, you don't have any of that. So the story, you're telling the whole story with your eyes and the little, facial expressions that only basically happen when you are deeply affected by emotion or rage or intense thoughts. So it was a lot more demanding. I was forced to prepare for basically every take of this film in the same way that I would prepare for the most emotional scene of another film. So I was running around like a madman on the set, just like kicking and screaming before a take, just to sort of get the intensity up and the emotional. You sort of have to lose control a little bit to access those kind of deep emotions. So I would create these little moments of losing control in some way, of just like screaming and, you know, kicking and throwing a chair in the wall, and then just, you know, kind of try to concentrate that energy into the eyes and then play the scene. So you know, it was intense.
Well, it really worked. It was absolutely phenomenal, and I just was drawn into it from the beginning, and I stayed with it and just engaged with it in a way that I really cared about the character and about what was going on. So you did such a marvelous job relaying that to the audience. And you know, John Woo is such a poet as a director, especially in action sequences. Can you share some thoughts about John's approach to the action art form that may surprise our audience, or maybe surprised you?
You know, John is really, I mean, he is one of the masters of film, but also like the OG master of the action genre. And it was incredible to watch him work and see how he sort of solved problems on set, and the way that he designed shots, and especially here when you don't need to waste any time, you know, filming someone who talks and then cutting to the person that listens. You know, he could just design a beautiful cinematic shot that tells the story of that whole scene. And he did the same thing with the action. But you know, the character is so important, you know, to him, and that's what he was emphasizing from the beginning. Like, you know, you really have to get into the emotion of the character and get the audience to completely go on this ride. And then when the ride begins, he's relentless.
Yeah, Joel, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and thank you for such a wonderful film. It was amazing to watch, and it's one I'll go to every holiday season for sure. And you know, if I invited Rick Flag from Suicide Squad and Godlock from Silent Night here, and you know, we'll go on the road together and we'll watch some action films and some holiday films. So you're invited,
good,
man. Looking forward to the road trip.
I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Joel.
Thanks, man.
Thanks again to Joel Kinnaman for joining us right here on Open Dialogue. You can catch the Lionsgate film Silent Night in theaters wide on December the 1st. And I want to give a shout out before I wrap to the fight choreographers and also the stunt workers, the stunt talent in this film. John Woo, as you heard me say, is a poet, and you definitely get a taste of that poetry in this film, Silent Night. So check it out in theaters. Silent Night. Thanks for joining us right here on Meet Me at the Movies. And thanks again to Joel Kinnaman.